this episode of Atea eTalks, Peter is joined by Patrick from Atea and Sara Hockney from Belkin to explore a topic that is becoming increasingly important in modern IT environments: secure KVM. What is a secure KVM? How does it differ from a standard KVM? And why does it matter for organizations working with multiple networks and sensitive data? Together, they discuss how secure KVMs help isolate systems, reduce the risk of data leakage, and create a more efficient workspace without compromising security. This is one you don't want to miss.
Hi and welcome to Atea eTalks. My name is Peter Adenius, and today I have my colleague Patrick with me today and Sara Hockney from Belkin.
Hi.
Very welcome.
Thank you very much.
And you are Sara Hockney and Channel Marketing Manager EMEA for Belkin.
I am, yes.
What does that mean?
Well, it's very new to me too.
Okay.
I've only been in this role for 2 months now.
Okay.
But I effectively look after the marketing for our customers across EMEA. So that's both in Europe and in the Middle East. And that ranges from anything from POS in store all the way through to kind of digital activation, but helping driving our sell-through with our customers in any way possible.
We had Belkin here for a couple of months ago, but please remind our new listeners maybe what Belkin do really within the IT industry.
Well, Belkin has a wide portfolio of different categories. We're most widely known for our mobile power. But we also have a full portfolio of audio products and device protection and connectivity, which is something I used to look after. And that's where cybersecurity kind of falls into and secure KVMs.
Yeah. How come Belkin are working with the secure KVM? Also, you're famous for what we mentioned, the power supplies and everything, cables and so how?
We've been doing this for a very, very long time.
But did you bought a company, or is it like
no? This is internal information that we built and designed.
Okay.
And yeah, we've been doing it for a long time. And like I said, we are working with the body that kind of decides on what the security protocol needs to be. And so we make sure that all of the products are matching that common criteria, whether that be in our larger universal second-gen KVMs, or whether that be in the modular version. All of them meet the same standards, so we can offer and provide the best security level through secure KVM.
Today, we're going to talk about the category of secure KVM. Explain to our listeners what that is.
Okay, so KVM is basically stands for keyboard, video, and mouse. And this is when a user would have multiple networks or computers that they would normally have 2 setups. So they would have a keyboard, a video, and a mouse for one computer, and then they'd have another one for their other networks or computers. A KVM basically kind of condenses all of that and is a space-saving solution so that you can use the same monitors, the same keyboards, the same mice for all of the different networks or all of the different computers that they have.
Yeah.
Where the secure part comes in is traditionally, if you wanted to keep a secure network completely secure so that no information can move from one network to another, you'd have those completely separate, physically separated and on different desks around a room.
But what is the secure aspect from we didn't say normal, regular KVM, standard KVM, and a secure KVM. So what is this like the cybersecurity or the issues with it?
So you don't want private or sensitive information moving from your secure network to an open network.
Okay.
You don't want that data being
kind of isolate.
You're physically isolating those networks, yes. So by doing that, traditionally, you would have those physically separated on different desks. What a secure KVM does is it maintains that air gap and that physical space, but contains it into a hardware product. So there is a air gap within that kind of, it looks like a big docking station. But what that means is those networks cannot overlap and data cannot be taken from one network and put onto another by mistake.
So that would be the difference, that it's like a closed environment, closed system.
Yeah, and you're space saving effectively, reducing the amount of monitors that you need to plug into all of these different networks. You can utilize the same monitors, the same keyboard, the same mice, but you're not risking any of the sensitive information moving from one network to another. It's all completely isolated.
Yes, it's kind of secure because you have a mouse and a keyboard, and they are secured. Then you use them on all the devices. Instead of have multiple mouses and keyboards.
Exactly.
Well, there's a lot of talk about like internal security and external security, but with these type of products, you would need to be in the room to actually do something.
So not necessarily, no. Okay. So inputs that go into a computer, so for example, a webcam, a microphone, these can be inputs that can be hacked and can be used.
Yes.
And if you're using different networks that are holding private or secure or sensitive information, they can be kind of hacked into and they can access that data. With a secure KVM and maintaining that kind of air gapping, that isn't possible with our product.
Patrick, do we have these products in our eShop at Atea?
We have the standard ones, you can say. The secure ones is kind of more complicated, and you need to talk to your local sales or call in to get more information because it's kind of, you can explain, but it's a more difficult setup, what you need or what setup do you have, because organizations are different and what they need and how many. And
but what does the product range look like? I don't know. I saw some of the product, but it's fairly expensive.
Yes.
But I don't know what you should compare with.
No, exactly.
But how do the product range look? I'm looking at you both. But
I think the smallest ones is for like 2 ports out up to 8, 10.
So we do offer up to 16 different networks.
16, okay.
Yeah, 16 different networks. And that's across either a single monitor or dual monitor options as well.
Okay. So how would the setup look like with like a 16 option? Could you have like 16 screens, that is?
No, so it'd be dual screen.
Dual screen.
But if you had 16 different kind of computers, and they would be held in like a racking system potentially, and then connected to the secure KVM, but you would, instead of needing multiple different screens to connect to those different computers, you could just have 2 or 1 screen, and then one desk set up with a keyboard and mouse as well.
Yeah, so you have like physical switches 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you choose what network you want to see on the screens.
Exactly.
So yes,
could be hard for our listeners to understand this, but I think we have or should have like a page on our eShop to explain this. Coming up,
we are creating it, and hopefully we have some easy pictures for those who are not listening or that are looking at this video can see what we mean.
So if we picture this, then what type of business or companies would benefits for this?
So mainly government, defence, kind of military industries or military organisations, but also police departments. But any other customer that is using different networks with different varying levels of security. So, for example, in finance, in the banking industry.
Finance, banking.
Healthcare. But organisations, other kind of enterprise that do have sensitive data, this is something worth considering to make sure that, that data is protected on those specific networks and not having the potential.
And a lot of inputs to have monitoring.
Yep, exactly.
What does the market look like? Also, does Belkin have any competition in this area? Or?
Yeah, it's always competitors in the market. But I think Belkin is a strong brand in this because they have worked with this SKVM for a long time and know what they are doing. So that's the reason why you're here, I think, just to explain it a little bit more and why you should use it or what the benefits or even the internal or external threats you can prevent using this.
Yeah. But do the customers know about this?
Potentially not. I think that the awareness around cybersecurity is definitely growing, but this is where we can support and start asking the questions that if you are using different networks and you have maybe multiple desk setups where, you could potentially optimize and save space, and this is a good option, the first question would be, how many networks are you using? Do you work with sensitive data or secure data that you do not need to be breached or hacked into?
So if you're like a technical person in a bank, for example, what would you suggest them to do to monitor or to look over to have a secure KVM?
I think if they do have different networks, that's the first question. Like, do you have an open network? Are you using, your everyday, your Outlook, your web browsing, your OneNote, for example? If you then have a secure network that you switched onto, whether that be on your current setup, that's already a potential risk to be hacked into or to be breached. And could you benefit from separating those out, but keeping your desk setup the same, then yes, that is something that, I think you could definitely benefit with a secure KVM.
Yeah. So you don't use any software to run those? It's just a safe box, you can say.
It's a safe box, effectively. So it isolates those networks within a box.
There's no AI.
There's no AI.
Oh my God.
No, but you can protect your AI work with
a secure KVM.
But find some hardware without AI.
Yeah.
We talk about AI.
Nice. That's nice. We have to say AI once more just to say it.
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah. The algorithm going to pick it up more on YouTube if we say AI more. When I hear this, I recognize immediately there's a lot of opportunities for companies to increase their security.
Yes,
for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. Is there any technical issues to think about before, like purchasing this secure KVM?
I think understanding what you want your desk setup to be, first of all. What's going to make your everyday life easier. It's not, being completely secure and isolating your networks is obviously priority number one, but having the options to have different monitor setups. There's also different form factors of secure KVMs. So there's ones that can sit on the desk that have different colors to light to show which network you're currently using. But then there are also smaller, like footprint type KVM, secure KVMs, which can be VESA mounted. So that gives you a completely clear desktop. So I think you have to kind of think, well, am I using one or two screens? Am I happy with having a secure KVM sat on the desktop? Do I need a remote control that is wired to it? Because that is another thing that can be a potential. And do I want it hidden or do I want it there on the desk?
There's a lot of things to think about with this little type of product.
Yeah, I think do you see anything? Is it evolving quickly with new features on these switches, or are they staying the same to be secure? Just secure, or is it any new?
Don't change anything that works.
No.
Exactly. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Yeah. There are always innovations. We have been in this space since the 2000s, and we are constantly innovating. We make sure that we meet the latest criteria, which is common criteria, which is the certification that you have to meet to have these types of products. We work very closely with the body that kind of develops that and make sure that it's up to date and that it's meeting the level of security that it does need to. But then also in the types of use cases, so whether you want to see different sort of like a multi-viewer type product where you can see different screens on one big screen, that is something that we're innovating, making sure that we stay up to date with the latest video network kind of standards, so with DisplayPort and HDMI obviously. So yeah, it's always constantly innovating, but we're at the forefront of doing that.
Yeah, new network standards, you have to be, what you say, back compatible with all the ones and also fix the new standard.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
There's no trend that they're trying to be more wireless.
I think in the future, it will come. I think wireless
some secure protocol to.
There will be something in the future. How soon in the future? That's very difficult to say.
Yeah.
But yes, there will always be some innovation coming this way. I think there is a definite growth in trust in these types of products. Traditionally, people would keep physical distance between their networks to make sure they're 100% certain that they cannot be breached. So the trust into these kinds of products is definitely the first kind of big move, which we feel we have. But yeah, new innovations in terms of wireless will be at some point, definitely.
Another question, a technical question, Patrick, for you. Have you looked at, for the standard, is it like 4K, 8K, or what's the revolution on this KVM secure switch on the screens?
The resolution, yes. Standard, most common is 4K at the max, because you have dual displays.
Yeah.
So,
of course.
And the most people don't use 8K screens monitors for
I'm just
those kind of purposes.
I don't know nothing about, 4K.
4K.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Sara. Very important and interesting, I think.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Secure KVM. And thank you all for listening. I think the ones who are still listening to this podcast are really interested in Secure KVM.
Yeah.
We're going to have a good page on our eShop where you can look at all the facts and details.
Yeah, we at least try to explain more.
Yeah, about this, because it's really important, and security is one of Atea's most important things right now, or all over the place, also for everyone, I think. So really nice to have you here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you, Patrick, and thank you all for listening, and hope you learned something about Secure KVM. Thank you very much.
Secure KVM may not be the most widely known category in IT, but for the right organizations, it can make a major difference. In this episode of Atea eTalks, Belkin and Atea explain how secure KVM solutions can help protect sensitive information, simplify complex desk setups, and support a safer way of working across multiple networks. Thanks for listening to Atea eTalks. If you want to learn more about secure KVM, understand which setup is right for your organization, or explore the solutions available through Atea, get in touch with us. We'll see you in the next episode.